Is it good? Was it good? Yes. God, my hair is a mess. I look like a mad scientist or have been beaten up by a homeless man. Well, it's one of the two, but let's just get straight to it. Breakdown, ba-boom. So episode 6 starts with a brief backstory on Joel and his protective side over Tommy. Because their dad, who is a police officer, cop, does hit them sometimes. And for some reason, whilst I was watching this, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Billy Butcher. It also reminded me of, this is a little bit of a weird one, but the Walking Dead game where you're with the Spanish guy, I think his name's Miguel, and you end up meeting Clementine quite early in the game. Anyway, it reminded me of that. Now that I think about it, him meeting his brother is almost exactly like how Joel meets Tommy. But yeah, I don't know who the actor of the dad was, nor do I know the son who played young Joel. But God, the dad was great at acting, and he was explaining how his dad used to fully broke his jaw one time because he hit him so hard. And he's basically saying, yeah, I do hit you sometimes, but it's nowhere near as bad as what my dad did. And then he says the very impactful line, which will then come back around, I hope you'll do a little bit better than me. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. And then the hand on the shoulder as he's walking out is also a very nice touch. Can't lie, I really bloody like that shot. Just, this is what adapting is about. Just building on shit. Stuff that just wasn't there before, but could have been, or has been referenced, but never shown. You can add that, you can do that, you can build it, you can make it yourself. Not changing up storylines and shit. I know they did a little bit of that in this, but it worked perfectly. But fully changing things that change character, no. God, there are so many flashbacks in this episode. We then go to 2 months into them being in Jackson, and Pedro is trying to get a birthday cake for Ellie. And I believe he swaps some Lego to Seb or Seth or whatever his name is, the one that called Ellie a dyke. And then we then go to Ellie, who has just recently burned herself on a trip out or something. I can't remember what it was, but she burned where her bite was. The birthday cake then arrives, misspelt, and this is actually where the singing scene happens. Making this song a birthday one it's a choice. I don't hate it. I don't think I like it. And I'll just say it. Thank God Pedro Pascal cannot sing. I mean, the man can't have everything. And also, it's going to be hard to try beat or equal Troy Baker when it comes to, well, anything. But it was a cool scene anyway. Now, exactly a year later, I believe it's Ellie's 16th birthday, and the dinosaur and space museum bit happens. And this is where I'm going to go to some sort of a critique, or more or less a realization. Now, I'm not going to explain what happens inside of the museum and that bit, because everyone knows what happens there. But this set of scenes and just this whole segment together is where I really felt something. I feel that they only really work that well together because of their real-life interactions and Bella's real-life relationship with Pedro. I think because she's so good with Pedro in real life that her on-screen chemistry and just interactions with him on screen is just far stronger and a lot better, and you can feel that. But along with this, there's something I also noticed. Because I think Bella's acting increases when she's around Pedro. She actually gets quite a bit better to go off of him. I do feel in some moments, and I really noticed this through this episode, I can't lie, is Pedro does kind of carry her through a lot of moments in a few scenes. Now, you may be asking, what specifically does carrying her through scenes or moments mean? Now, my definition in this scenario is when a really good actor or a really great actor can make a far lesser actor or not as good actor kind of up or far more level just because they are that good of an actor that it doesn't matter who they work off. It doesn't matter what situation they're put in. They are just so good consistently and just such a good actor overall that whoever they're opposite, they will always be able to make good or make look better. Make look better? That ain't English. But yeah, to be a little bit more specific, I think she still has all of the quirks and things that I noticed previously. It's just opposite Pedro, they kind of end up muting themselves out of the scenario because Pedro's literally just there. His aura alone stops any mishap happening. And I also think this is the reason season 1 was much better, because both Bella was more comfortable being around Pedro and acting off of him, or whenever there is falterings or acting quirks that come out, Pedro just being there, acting opposite her, just completely nullifies all of them. Not to mention the age of the character as well. You can kind of brush off some of the like quirkiness and stuff just from Ellie's age, which she obviously can't do now that she's far older. And I think this episode really shows you that Bella by herself, I just don't feel it when I see her by herself on screen, that she has that presence to be able to fill it out. And I don't think she has the screen presence to be able to hold the show up just by herself. And I think the main reason for that is just overall, she isn't a complete actor. If you want me to go a little bit more in depth on it, just go watch my other video. But the main thing is, I think Bella's biggest weakness as an actor is just her conversational dialogue. We then go to another time skip a year later, and Joel brings Ellie another cake, this time spelt right. And this is where we see Ellie actually getting her tattoo over the burn and the bite, whilst simultaneously doing drugs and shagging the tattooist. And Joel is not very happy. Also, it is Pedro's fucking house. If Pedro Pascal is in that house, he owns it. If Pedro Pascal was in my house, in this house right now, he owns it, mate. That's just what happens. So don't you dare say that he does not own that house. Even logically, it was given to you 2 months ago. Everyone else's house was given to them. It's their house. The moth equaling death. Cool symbolism, I guess. Guess she's goth. But Joel barging in on her and kind of, I guess, embarrassing her causes her to want to go and move into the garage. So like I said, adapting, building, you're showing literally the point of her moving into the garage and the reasons why she did that. She wants space. We then go to 2 years later, another fucking time skip. And it's the first time that Joel takes Ellie on patrol. They then get a call in that another group nearby has been attacked and is affected. I think his name's Adam, and then there's Eugene, obviously. Joel tells Ellie to go back to Jackson, and she says, "I'm not your fucking kid, Joel. We're partners." Anytime, I don't even care if it's Bella, I don't care if it's Ellie in the game. Whenever Ellie says that Joel's not her dad, it's just, it hurts. Then the entire Eugene fiasco happens, so we literally see what happens when Joel ends up killing Eugene. And I'm honestly with Joel on this one. It's like, I would not take that risk. I do not care if his hand's not shaking. How am I supposed to know that just because he's not shaking now, that doesn't turn into jerking himself off 5 minutes later? I'm not trusting that shit. I'm so with Joel on this one. Screw if Ellie says it's an hour later. I ain't trusting that shit. But yeah, Eugene's death was sad as fuck. And then it really, really pissed me off when Ellie told Gail about Eugene dying. The actual way he died. Because before Joel killed Eugene, he made another promise to Ellie saying that he wouldn't kill him as he went and sent her off to go get the horses to come back. Which he then obviously lied and killed him anyway. Which, once again, proves that he will lie, and she also says it's the same look in his eyes. So she kind of knows from that point that he's lying about what happened in the hospital. We then make it to the last time skip. Back to episode 1 at the New Year's party. And it's all filmed in the POV of Joel at the party, so we literally see him come straight up and pushing the dude and then walking out. And then it is the porch scene. And I have no qualms. This was incredible. It was brilliant, it was wonderful, and there's no denying it. Pedro, god tier acting. And Bella kept up in the scene. Like I said, her extreme emotions are really good. She's a really, really strong actor when she's doing the really big emotions. It's just the conversational, smaller emotions. But yeah, this scene, man, just everything. I mean, it's different than the game, but it's definitely a good different. Because on this porch scene, they have the entire reveal of what happened in the hospital, which obviously makes it far more dramatic for TV. Lines like, "Because you're selfish, because I love you in a way you'll never understand." God, it makes you want to kick an orphan. And then it comes back around with, "I hope you do a little bit better than me." I am just a little bit annoyed that the scene didn't end with, "I'd like that," as it does in the game, because that's one of my favourite lines that happens in that moment. Because in this, it ends with Ellie just saying, I don't know if I can ever forgive you, but I'd like to try. Which is cool, it's great, but I just want the Joel line. But God, this scene was good. This is what we want. We want Pedro. Then the episode ends when we come back to Ellie in Seattle and we brace for shit packed. So yeah, this episode was definitely many, many steps up, maybe even the stairs to heaven of a way up. So yeah, this episode was really good, really, really good, especially in the moments where it hit. The multiple flashbacks, kind of annoying, can't lie. I mean, obviously it's necessary to show what happens at each of those points because something interesting or important does happen at each of those points. However, just the sheer amount of flashbacks and just the random times in between, it's like you shouldn't really do that with flashbacks. Like physically using flashbacks as a medium, it shouldn't be that many flashbacks over those weird amount of periods. He said periods. But yeah, that's kind of just like an open critique. But the main thing I think that we can learn from this episode is the fact that Pedro is the main decider in the fact that the episode was good. I mean, obviously, it's a Joel episode, but Ellie is in the majority of scenes as well, and is acting opposite him the majority of the time. And personally, to me, it's just really apparent that Pedro being there makes Bella just act better because her relationship with him in real life, they're very friendly, they have a great chemistry as well, so they just have that. And that translates really well to on-screen chemistry as well, you can just feel it. But it really directs your focus and really points out the fact that if you take Pedro out of the equation and it's just Bella, she can't really hold it by herself. I don't think any of the other characters are either big enough. I don't want to use the word compelling, but I can't really think of another word that's close enough to a word that I want to say. I don't think they're like big enough just for them to be able to hold up scenes by themselves. I just don't think these characters, or maybe it's even the actors, just have that screen presence to be able to dominate and just take the screen for themselves, which is why I think this season has dwindled rather a lot. And it's hard for Bella especially because she is going to be the main character of this season and the next season as well. Oh shit, no she isn't, because we're gonna get bloody Abby episodes, aren't we? I never even thought about this. If Abby's actor can actually hold her own presence and hold her own character true, then it's going to look so much worse on Ellie. And it's going to look so much worse on Bella Ramsey if she can do that. Damn, I never even thought of that. Jesus. But yeah, apart from like just noticing that or seeing that, it was a great episode. Eugene's death, sad as shit. Porch scene, really, really good. Like, that's definitely the best emotional scene out of all of The Last of Us, including season 1. No doubt, like 100%. And I think the next episode is the final episode. So we might end this season on a bitter taste in our mouths because we've just had this. We've just had Pedro acting his arse off, and then we go back to Bella by herself. So all I can do is hope that it's actually a good episode. That's all I need. I just want a good episode with Bella standing by herself. Is that too much to ask for, really? Anyway, yeah, that's all my points I wanted to make, needed to make, I believe. And yeah, please let me know what you thought. Let me know everything I've said, any opinions, thoughts, criticisms, what you liked about the episode, because there's so much to like in this episode. And it's all because of a man beginning with P. Not all of it. Bella did really, really well, and she was great in this episode. But yeah, just let me know. Please like and subscribe. Make sure to go watch my other videos, my other critique videos especially. Please get my last video to 1,000 views, because I only need like 50 more. Please and thank you. And yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.